Good evening, dear ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the program Face to Face. Today we have invited the very famous economist of Mongolia, Mr. Jargalsaikhan, to talk about the current issues which is happening in our social and economic situation in Mongolia. And first of all, I would like to thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you for saying famous.
Thank you very much. And I would like to start to talk about the recent projects which were proposed by the Prime Minister of Mongolia on behalf of the cabinet, which would are believed to make a big change in our country. What is your position in this regard?
You are referring to the Human Development Fund, through which they promised to give everybody 1.5 million turiks.
And also some other projects as well.
Okay, let me focus on that point first. Well, you know, if the people will get 1.5 million turiks as they promised second time, that's good maybe for political parties to win the next election, and at least it's a half of the total promised fund, because everybody is expecting 2.5 million, because both parties have promised together 2.5 million turiks per individual.
Exactly.
But however, first of all, it's just one-party promisement. Second, they have been doing it because now people are going to the street, going out, and demanding what they have promised before vote. And I think it's very legitimate. And it's another sign that the political parties are not to promise any cash before election. Sure. In fact, it is forbidden by law in this country. But these two ruling parties were competing with the amount of money they were promising. Right. So in a way, this is very immature promise, immature actions by the political parties. First. Second, of course, I'm not touching the part of economic impact of this cash if it is given. Of course, they promise that they will give tranche by tranche, and they will give it. They will give it for particular cases, like if you pay for your pension fund or health, etc. And I'm also I don't like that part too, because if the people are to pay cash for the fees to the funds, whereabouts of which we don't know. We are very curious and very careful about this social care funds, medical care funds, insurance, social insurance funds of the country, because there is no clear report of those funds. What is the balance today, who is managing, in which banks they are keeping it. And that non-transparency of the government management of public funds causes a lot of problem. And that's one of the reasons why probably everybody is running to the government as well.
Right.
Because beyond this untransparency, people are running public money without any responsibility and accountability. That's why I'm writing about, well, only thing I can do is I can write, because I do not belong to any political party, and yet I want to express my view seriously, and so that everybody can read. So that's why I do write a blog.
You have mentioned about the lack of the social accountability in our country, and this is the one of the issues everybody is talking about. But on the other hand, it seems there is a problem not in the concept of social accountability, but more about that people, they don't know how they can participate.
Well, yes, I keep writing about social accountability, responsibility by public officers to the people, to the citizens. And this is the character of the public governments in any democratic country. That's they have been promising in their political programs, which we don't see yet in real life. Of course, compared to other countries like Kyrgyzstan, what's happening today, tonight, all this, we are of course much advanced.
Right.
But these are not enough for the prosperity we do expect from the society, from the government we have democratically elected. So that's why people demand the accountability from the public management. So if we have if we will reach certain degree level of transparency in the public government, that comes with accountability. Then at the next election, which is the only means of changing these people, people will have that into the account for themselves.
Right. So what is the ideal definition of the society where everybody is accountable to each other, where the government keeps the promises, and what we as Mongolians need to do in order to achieve this idealistic?
Well, you know, we live in democratic society. At least we want to live, and we want to have the society to be democratic. What is a democratic society? This is the society where my own freedom of expression, of behaving, everything is limited by your freedom. Otherwise, I'm allowed to do whatever I'm supposed to do, I want to do. But my freedom is limited by the freedom of other people. So in that way we live in a society where people live self-controlling. Nobody is controlling from the top. Of course the government, by the way we translate government in a little bit narrow sense as a cabinet. But when I speak about government I include the three powers, judiciary, legislation, and the executive, or in our sense, government. So when this, the government is government has two functions, protective and creative. Protective means government is to protect human rights, liberty, and properties. Productive function is to produce those values, services that private sector cannot produce. That's it. If the service can be provided by a private sector, let them do it. So I mean, like in defense, education, road, public infrastructure that everybody shares. So we wish the government only doing that, not more. When they do something more within these limits, they do very in a wrong way. Usually short-term interest politicians do all these things within 4 years. But our interest is not 4 years term. We live longer. We want to see our country prosper, not only our time, but in the future, for generations to come. So we would like to have a democratic society, fundamentally based on the best values that human can create it. Then probably we will do a little bit more. Then we can achieve something based on the best knowledge of other countries.